Good morning. I'm Dr. Fabienne Slama, but in this community, everybody calls me Fab. And my company is called Fabulicious because if I'm Fab, so are you. And life is supposed to be delicious, amazing, sunny, gorgeous like today in California. I would like to welcome you to a recording about the person you are, but more importantly, about the person you become. There's a quote from Anais Nin that I really resonate with, and it says, "And the day came when the risk it took to remain tight inside of the bud became more painful than the risk it took to blossom." So just think about that. Would it be possible that right now you're staying tight inside of your bud when you have so much to offer this world? How would it feel for you to get out of your cocoon and just open your wings? How would it feel for you to actually create what I call a fabulous life with a job you're excited of doing, with a relationship that you enjoy, with a lot of friends, a lot of love, and just enjoy your day one after the next? So, today we're going to talk about the person you are, more importantly, about the person you're going to become. And we will talk about the 3 steps you can take today to getting unstuck. Yes, we all reach those moments when we feel stuck somewhere in our work, in our career, when we don't achieve what we want, in our financial world, when we're struggling for money, in our relationship, and even in our health. But I can tell you from experience, you can really change that. Yes, there will always be ups and downs, it's part of life, but you can really, really unstuck yourself and create a life that you will be excited about. How do I know that? Because I did it. I hope it's okay. I'm going to share a little bit about my story. Right now, I'm sitting on my balcony in beautiful, sunny, gorgeous California. You can see behind me. Isn't it stunning? And I'm doing exactly what I love to do, which is helping others being who they want to become, being healthier emotionally, physically, mentally, and live an amazing life. That was a dream of mine since I was a kid. Unfortunately, that was not a dream I was able to achieve early on in my life. I became a biochemist, thinking that was what I was meant to do because that was what my parents told me to do. And I married a very nice guy because that was also what was expected to me. And I started a family, and our family moved to California when I was in my late 20s. And as had done everything that was expected to me, that was expected from me, I realized little by little that I forgot about what I wanted, what was bringing me joy, what was making me excited day after day. And I start becoming small. I start disappearing. I was the wife of my husband. I was a mother of my kids. But though I had a PhD and a master degree and so many diploma, I was not working. I was a stay-at-home mom which was good, but not what I wanted for me. I just became smaller and smaller, and I felt less than. I lost my self confidence. When I reached my late 30s, to be honest, I was a shadow of myself. I was feeling so depressed and so stuck that my body started failing me. And actually, at that moment, I my back was hurting so bad that I was not able to walk more than few hundred yards without terrible pain. I thought I was becoming old and that will be the rest of my life mediocre, just okay. It was okay, but I was not happy. Until one day that changed my life. On that day I received a phone call from my husband of 20 years, and he sounded very distressed, and I asked him what's going on, and he told me that he was really sorry, that he thought I was an amazing person, that I was a wonderful mom for our kid, but that he didn't love me anymore and that he wanted to get a divorce. I have to say it was heartbreaking in many levels. First of all, it was heartbreaking because I was losing the relationship with a man I really deeply loved. But more importantly, I think something that in what he said resonated with me. He told me, I don't love you anymore. And to be honest, I didn't love myself either. I had become grumpy. I was complaining all the time. I was never taking action toward any goal. And yeah, uh, I was feeling stuck and unhappy in so many levels that, yes, I didn't love me at all. So, unfortunately, uh, he left, and it really literally felt like somebody had taken the floor from underneath my feet. And I went from this cliff of mediocrity to free fall. I actually tried to kill myself, and I failed. But I realized at some point that I had two solutions. Either I will get depressed and I will totally quit on myself, or I will, since I was falling, trying to find wings and start flying. I knew I couldn't do it alone, so I reached out for help, and I was blessed to find an amazing hypnotist who first helped me but then became my mentor. And 3 months after my husband left, I was back on my feet. 1 year after his phone call, I had trained to become a coach. I was training to become a hypnotherapist. After 2 years, I had published my first book. After 3 years, I was voted best life coach in the Bay Area. And a couple of years later, I was at the head of Fabulicious, a six-figure business, doing everything that I wanted, which was empowering others, bringing joy around me, helping people let go of trauma and find their fabulous life. And I have to say, I'm so thrilled to do that and to be in front of you here today. And I know it was, how to say that? It's easy. No, it's not easy. It's actually not that easy. It's actually simple, but it's not easy. So simple because the steps are something, the first steps are steps that will resonate with most of you. And I know that by taking those first 3 steps toward becoming who you want to be and toward getting unstuck, you can also achieve your fabulous life. Are you ready for the first step? I hope you're ready, because let's be clear. Today is your day. I stay mediocre way too long, and I had very good excuse, and I know you have plenty of good excuse. This being said, you are the one in charge of your life, and you are the only one who decide when to jump and when to fly. Today is your day. Today is your day of change. Today is the day you're claiming, I'm ready and I want it. So, since you're ready and you want it, let's go. What is the first step to getting unstuck? The first step is a little bit counterintuitive. Everybody think about the first step to getting unstuck is about visualizing what you want and imagining your future. No. That's later. Actually, the first step to getting unstuck is the end. The end of the old you. You cannot create a new you, a you that is unstoppable, a you who can achieve everything that he or she wants without letting go of the old you. So, for that, you need to take the time to realize, what is this old you about? Who are you today that you need to change? What do you do because of who you are? How do you do what you do that makes you feel stuck? So today, you are this person who feels stuck. What do you do? Maybe you're staying in a job that you don't like, or in a relationship that you don't like. How do you say that? You find very good reason to stay where you are. And whatever your reason, just list them, look at them. They are all good reasons. But those reasons are what are making you feel stuck today. Maybe it's time to change that. Let's see. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody who is unstoppable? Somebody who actually accomplished a dream? Somebody who is achieving a potential? If yes, what do you do to achieve that? How do you do that? What are the quality you need to achieve your dream? What are the change you need to create to achieve your dream? What are the assets you already have that will help you get closer to this person you want to become? So really, take a piece of paper, take the time to list who you are today, what do you do, how you do what you do, and look at how is this pattern keeping you stuck. And then look at, who do you want to become, what would you do differently, and how would you do it so you feel better and better and better about yourself. Make sense? Now, once you do that, it's time for the second step. This second step, we're going to stay a little bit longer on it because it's totally the basis of what I do with my client day after day. The reason a lot of people try to get unstuck and change only to go back to where they were is because they only change on the conscious level. They try to power through. They try to face the fear and do it anyway. And yes, you can do that. But it's not a stable, permanent change. The only way you can create total, deep, profound change is by changing from your logical brain, but also changing from your subconscious, from the inside out. How do you do that? Is actually by looking at what might be blocking you subconsciously. Why is it important? Okay, first of all, you have to realize that anytime when you process some idea, you process it logically on the conscious level, but you also compare it on the subconscious to everything that you have experienced, everything that you have experienced and lived and done since you're born, even before, everything that your family has told you about, everything that you heard, everything that is in your DNA and that was carried on through your heritage. Today, they discover that phobias like snakes phobia or arachnophobia are actually passed on the DNA from generation to generation. There's scientific proof of that. So you have to realize that all those limiting beliefs, all those fear might be stuck somewhere inside of you. And to explain to you how it affects you, I want to talk to you about one of my clients. Her name is Patricia. Patricia is a psychologist, 23 years experience, very good therapist, by the way. Except that she was not able to make a living doing what she was meant to do, which was therapy. She was barely going from paycheck to paycheck and was struggling, even though she was really working hard. And she wondered why. So one day she contacted me and she said, I don't know, Fab, there's something going on. It might be subconscious. Can you help me with it? And I said, absolutely. So I said, what do you want? And they said, I want to make more money. I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich, actually, and be comfortable and be able to afford everything that I want. I say, okay, girl, Patricia, close your eyes and just repeat what you just say. And she said, I want to be rich. And there she could feel right away that her body was not in alignment with her statement. Your body, by the way, is your BS detector. If you close your eyes and you say something that you want and your body gets tense, that's telling you you're not in alignment with what you just said. So this signal was a start of our session. And we look at this belief that she had, that she wanted to be rich. Really, consciously she wanted to, but subconsciously she didn't. And it took us back to when she was 5 years old, and she was hiding under the kitchen table as her parents were paying the bills. And her parents were so concerned because they were barely making it. They had 4 kids to feed. her dad was working so many hours, and he was going paycheck to paycheck. And really, our parents were complaining about the fact that they were working so hard to barely making it, to be barely making it. And they were such good people. Why people like her dad's boss was so mean and so bad. And he was actually so rich. And listening to that, little Patricia promised herself something. She promised herself she will be a good person. And the way she translated in her little mind of 5 year old what her dad was saying is poor people are good people, rich people are bad people. Guess what? I want to be like mommy and daddy and be poor and work really hard and be a good person. And she did just that. And by the time she was 50, she was still doing that, keeping her promise to herself. We had a little bit of a conversation with this 5 year old. And yes, she agreed that there was a solution to be a good person and be wealthy. The following months, Patricia made for the first time in her life $10,000. The following months, she made 12. And since then, her business grew up to be a six-figure business. How would it feel for you to create such a change in your subconscious and be able to achieve something that you want? So unfortunately, I cannot give you a hypnosis session right here, right now, since I don't see you, even though I do a lot of my session in video on Zoom or on Skype. But I would love to offer you a way to unlock your subconscious today, right here, right now. So let me tell you about this little exercise that I'm really fond of. It's called the Matchstick Man. I would like you to pause the video for the next few seconds and go get a piece of paper or notebook and or clipboard and like a white piece of paper like that, and a pen, because you're going to need to be doing some drawing. Okay, I wait for you. Welcome. Okay, I hope you get everything that you need. So you need to take your paper horizontally like that, and you need to have a pen. And on one side of your paper, you're gonna draw you. And actually, you're gonna draw Stuck you. And as you can see, I am an amazing artist. I have been sculpting for the past 20 years, but I cannot draw to save my life. No hard feeling, don't worry about that. So here is Stuck me, and in your paper you have Stuck you. And you want to love this part of you because it's hard to feel stuck. To really show the love that you have for this part of you, I want to put yourself on a circle of light. So circle of light, you draw a full circle and you put the ray of light to know that the light is there. And the reason you need to love this part of you is also because this part of you is important. Sometimes you need to feel stuck to integrate. By the way, you would not listen to this recording if you were not feeling stuck. So the reason you're learning right now is because you feel that way, which is amazing. So yes, love this part of you too. And then you're going to take your paper, and on the other side of the page, you're gonna draw unstuck you, or happy you, or successful you. Gonna put some hair, and I'm gonna put happy unstuck me on the circle of light as well. Because yes, I love this spot too. She's amazing, she's unstoppable, she's the one who was able to write books, who is speaking to you right now, who has been reinventing your life. Oh my god. And Stuck Me is there too. Yes, even though I'm doing what I'm doing, I have my moment of stuckness. The difference is I'm not afraid of them because I know how to get unstuck, and that's what I want for you. So, where can you be stuck? You are usually stuck along 7 levels, and those levels are represented in your body by something we call the chakras. Chakras are points of energy that represent different level of consciousness, and also when they can be different blocks when something happens. So the first chakra that we call the root chakra, I draw it here because it's at the base of your spine. It's actually any fear that you can have about your safety. Fear about not being able to feed yourself, fear of not having a roof over your head, the basic ancestral need. I need to feel safe. And yes, if you feel stuck at that level, it can be really scary to move and to change something. So just draw a point at the level of your first chakra, of this root chakra, in the stuck version of you and the happy version of you. Then just above that, at the level of your reproductive organs, you have the second chakra, also called the sacral chakra. And this one is about emotion, it's about creativity, it's about sexuality. So it's the one that is affected when you want to create something new, when you want to get a new project. It's also the one that is affected when you have a relationship with someone and there's a lot of fighting and emotion there. That's the one that is extremely important actually when you have any fears that is preventing you from creating and manifesting and visualizing your future. So same thing, you're going to draw it in the 2 part of you. Just above that, at the solar plexus, so that's where I draw it. Like, just to show you, it's here. It's actually the center of power. This is the chakra that allow you to stand up for yourself, to be visible, to be okay, really claiming what you need, to say to your boss, you know what, I'm done working at this fee, I need a raise. This is a part that will help you to stand up to your partner if he's not treating you the way you should be treated. That's the chakra of the fighter. So yes, it's a very important one, like all of them, by the way. Above that, here, you have the 4th chakra, which is your heart. This is a connection with others. It's the one that is mostly affected when you feel lonely, when you have a hard time connecting with others, when you tend to hide yourself. And it's important to have your heart open so you can connect with love, so you can connect with friends, so you can actually feel more comfortable with your colleague at work and attract clients from a love point of view if you are an entrepreneur. So, yes, look at this part of you in the stuck you and in the happy you. Fifth chakra is at the level of your throat. It's about communication. It's about what you are saying. Are you able to share your gift to the world? Are you communicating what you need to communicate with others? We're talking about oral communication, but also written communication, speaking up, all of that. If it's blocked, you're staying silent and you're hiding. The next chakra, sixth chakra, here. Oops, here I am in the camera. Okay, the sixth chakra is also what we call the third eyes, is the source of your intellect, but also of your intuition. Are you in touch with your intuition? Are you using your full potential intellectually? How much are you connected with yourself? And what is blocked there and preventing you from achieving what you want to achieve? And finally, the seventh chakra is here. It's called the crown chakra. So I draw it at the top of the head, and it's your connection with the spiritual world, God, if that's the way you call it. It's also your connection with the universe and your ability to manifest what you want. If it's blocked, it's something you need to look at. Okay, so I've been drawing those seven chakras in the stuck part of myself, but also on the unstuck part of myself. So I want you to really take the time to reflect on each of them. And is there one of them that is blocked more than the other one? And if it is the case, why? And how would every single one of these chakras feel once they are open and free and vibrant? And what I'm gonna do next is actually I'm drawing line horizontally between each of those seven chakras. I'll draw those lines because they represent attachment. Attachment is what makes you criticize yourself when you are not the one you want to be. It's a part of you who feel really, excuse the language, pissed off when you're not achieving your dream. It's the one that also, those attachments are what also are telling you, sorry, you cannot do it, you never know, oh, it's not safe. Yes, there's those two parts of you in you. There's a stuck part, there's a thriving, unstoppable part. But those two parts are kind of dependent, and that's what makes you go from one to the other and then come back. And unless you separate those two parts of you and you accept and you love both of them for who they are, and accept that you can go from one to the other one, but you don't need to make them slave one from the other. Unless you separate them, you cannot move on fully. So it's very important to realize that, yes, you need to love those two parts, And by the way, love cannot be destroyed. But you don't need to stay so attached to be one or the other. And the way I symbolize the detachment is by actually separating the two parts. Just there, I just say to the universe, I love the stuck part of me. I love the unstuck part of me, the happy part of me. And I wish both of those parts an amazing life. And I will let myself go freely from one to the next, to the other, and not feel worry. I hope it makes sense. And if you need work to find why one of those chakras is blocked, absolutely contact me. I would love to help you with that and how to detach it. Also, you can use this technique to detach to somebody you want to detach from, or to detach from an expectation of something. But I want us to have time to go to this third step, which is a very important one, because once you let go of the old you, which we have done so far, it's important that you move toward the new you. And when you do that, there's a difficult time called that I call in my book Renaissance Woman. I call this phase the limbo, because you're not the new old you anymore, but you're not the new you yet. And that's a moment that is extremely scary. And that's a moment when a lot of people go back to their old habits. So right now I'm gonna talk to you about how to step into the unknown with confidence. Um, Let me tell you about one of my clients. I think that will be also, I always love to give example, because that's the only way you can really understand what I mean. Her name is Hélène, and Hélène came to me because she was in an abusive relationship. So let's be clear. When I have somebody coming to me who is in an abusive relationship or is in a terrible job, they're not coming to me saying, you know what, Fabienne, I would like to stay in this abusive relationship. I would like to stay in this terrible job. They say, I want to change something, but somehow they're not able to do that. And often they have been in repetitive abusive relationship, leaving one to going to another one, or they've been leaving a terrible job to go to another terrible job. And there's a reason they repeat this pattern. It's because this pattern is familiar to them, and even though they hate it, if they haven't changed a pattern from the inside out, if there's a big change, they're going to repeat the pattern. But let's go back to Hélène. Hélène came to me. She was 14 years in a relationship that was more and more abusive. And one of the reasons she was not leaving her boyfriend was she was loving him anyway. And the second reason was she was scared of how she would survive. She had quit her job 5 years prior to raise his kid. They were not hers, but they were almost like her kids. And she was like, oh my gosh, if I leave him, I don't know how I'm going to support myself financially. I'm going to lose what feels like my family. I'm going to lose a guy I love. And there were so many blocks, there were so many fears. So first of all, we had to look at all those blockages and why she had them. But then she had to decide to take action. And the way it happens when you have to step into the unknown is very strange. It's important to have a vision of what you want. So take the time to visualize what you want. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not clear. And in both cases, it's okay. In her case, it was not really clear. She knew she wanted a better life. That's all she knew. And she knew she wanted to get her confidence back and be happy. That was her vision. Except that when you have a vision, you are on this cliff uh, that I called earlier the cliff of mediocrity. Because if it was terrible, like when it's terrible, it's somehow easier to leave. But when it's you're staying. And she had this vision, which was the other side, and in between, it felt like there was a river that she needed to cross, except that it was not clear. So basically, this river was in the dark. Around her, there was so much fog, and it was unclear, like scary, like those dark. And she imagined there were crocodiles in the middle of the river. That was really stopping her, and that's why she was not moving forward. And once she decided to move forward, she actually took a first step, which was to look for a job. And to look for a job, she sent a resume to different places, but she was not getting the answer she wanted to get. So she went back to what she used to have, which was staying with her boyfriend and we take care of the kids. Until one day her boyfriend became more and more violent, and she was really becoming more and more depressed. And there was this moment where she called me and she said, Fab, I need to do something. And I said, yes, you need to. You need to jump one way or another. And she said, yes, but I don't have a job offer. And I say, I know. What do you want? And anyway, she decided to leave her boyfriend, even though she was terrified. She packed her stuff and she went. That was her first step on the first stone of the river. And you know what is amazing? Is once she took this first step, things start opening for her. Actually, the day after she left her boyfriend, her old boss, who she had sent a resume to but never contacted her back, called her out of the blue saying, Ellen, I know I received your resume a few weeks ago. I didn't reply because I had nothing for you, but right now we have a woman who is going in maternity leave, and I would love for you to interview for the position. Would you be open? And basically 1 week after she left her boyfriend, she had a job. And from that, she got her confidence back, and she started reconnecting with her friends that she was not talking to anymore, and reconnect with her family she had isolated herself from. And 1 year after we worked together, she had signed up to run a marathon, and she was glowing and happy, and she finished a marathon. I'm so proud of her. Go, Ellen. And oh my gosh, it was amazing to see her. So, but it was important for her to have, yes, a little bit of a vision to express what she wanted, but she had to take this first step. And from the first step, she was able to take the second step. And from the second step, she could take a third step. So that's something that is absolutely essential to get unstuck. Don't wait for all your ducks to be in a row. How many of you are perfectionists? Raise your hand if you're a perfectionist. Yeah, we all have this tendency to say, okay, I'm going to take action, but I need to have all my ducks in a row. Guess what? The problem with ducks, once you line them up, there's always one that runs away. And you're here trying to grab a duck, put it back in line, and there's another one running on the other direction, and you take this duck, you put it back in line. Forget about it. Just go. Just go anyway. Take the first step. And yes, you taking this first step is a sign to, it's a message to the universe saying, hey, God, I take action toward what I want. I'm doing my part of the job. Please do your part of the job and send me help. And you will see it's going to change something. So I've been talking a lot, and there's so much more I want to tell about getting unstuck and becoming the person you want to become and living your fabulous life. But it's already a long, long, long video. And I hope you enjoy it. I would love to continue this conversation with you. I would love to get to know you and help you with your own specific situation. I created a discovery session for those of you who are ready to get clear about what is keeping them stuck and who really want to take action toward getting unstuck and creating the life they want. I named this discovery session Getting Unstuck Discovery Session. So it's very simple. You're going to recognize it. It's just say what it is. It's 30 minutes over the phone, and we're going to talk together for the 30 minutes. Really get clear about what is blocking you. Really get clear about the 1, 2, 3 first action you might take today that will get you closer to your goal. And by the end of the conversation, if we see we can work together to go even beyond that, I will be happy to support you. So the value of this Getting Unstuck discovery session is $147. And I have to say, you can do a lot in 30 minutes. Patricia, my first client I told you about, we had discovered the block during the first 30 minutes. It took a little bit more time to unlock it, but not much more. So if you are ready to unlock your potential and become the person you want to become, I would like to you to sign for this discovery session. And you know what? Look at this day. Isn't it gorgeous? Just this makes me happy. And when I'm happy, I feel super generous. I want to share this beauty with every single one of you. I want for you exactly the same thing. I want you to live your potential. I want you to be successful. And I'm going to match this excitement by gifting you this discovery session. If you're ready to get unstuck, sign up for the Getting Unstuck discovery session. You're going to find the link and just underneath this video. And let's talk. Let's take action. It's going to be totally free of charge, and I will be there for you for 30 minutes, and you will take this first step. Are you ready to move forward? Today is your day to move forward. Today is your day to start your journey toward happiness. Let's go together. Yay! It was lovely talking with you, and talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.